We have heard that 500,000 children have died. Is the price worth it?
The price, we think the price is worth it.
Listen, I really think the media is...
Because they own this fucking place. It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Could you look me in my eyes and just lie to me?
In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
They burn these fucking people alive because the message they want to convey to you is state power will always win.
You're listening to Below the Tension Podcast.
Open up your eyes.
How's it going, everyone? It is a beautiful Wednesday afternoon here in New Mexico. It's bright and shiny outside. It's a great, great day. And as I'm sure many of you have heard, it comes on the heels of some violence and riots here in the state of New Mexico for Donald Trump, but that's neither here nor there. Thank you for joining me. You're listening to episode 5, 9/11 Families Double-Crossed. That's going to be a good episode. I got some tech news. I got some Libertarian news. I got some Venezuela updates. But to get to my first two articles here, I'm going to try and be as cogent and calm as I can be with these two first articles. Now, the first one's just a little bit annoying, but the second item I'm going to get to really pisses me off really badly. But on to the first item here. Last night, I shared a photo criticizing Libertarian Party candidate Austin Peterson, and if you listen to my past episodes, I was quite critical of Mr. Peterson, and I took great joy in sharing this photo, which was intended to be a joke, honestly, but it turned out to be a big argument last night on Twitter. You can follow me at Slav Libertarian. I will splash it on the screen for YouTube viewers, and I will put a link to the picture and the Twitter thread in the description below. It created quite the hullabaloo, particularly with Austin Peterson for President mouthpiece Liberty Hangout, headed up by a Justin. Now, there was criticism towards me for not paying attention to this election cycle, apparently. That, what have I done? What are you even doing? You obviously don't know what you're talking about. And the other two candidates are crazy. He's the best choice. Justin, I'm not concerned with any of that when it comes to Austin Peterson, okay? He could be Ron Paul incarnated at this point. I don't care. He may have the best policy. He may deliver the best lines. Hell, he may actually be the best choice for Libertarian Party, as his policies say, what he expounds upon, what he claims is his platform. That's not really what I am worried about, and what the other, I would say, majority of the actual libertarian community cares about. What we care about is him being a giant douchebag. Now, Justin, I'm going to throw out two semi-hypothetical questions. You don't have to answer them if you don't want. I don't even know if you're going to respond to this. But if you do respond, I would like you to at least answer these 2 questions. Whatever else you may say, give me a straight answer on these 2 questions. But for now, they are hypothetical. Ask anyone who has been involved with the liberty movement since at least before 2012 or during 2012. More importantly, 2008. Ask any libertarian that has been involved with the inside baseball. Ask any libertarian that has, let's just say as a general benchmark, above a couple thousand followers on Twitter. Somebody that has been in the game a while, somebody somewhat notable. Ask them what they think about Austin Peterson. Nobody likes him because he's a douchebag. He's a jerk off. He blocks people that disagrees with him, calls them names, and attacks core principles of libertarianism. And I know you shared that little article you wrote saying you spoke with him and he explained his position, but he didn't recant what he was saying. He just said, oh, I understand why you guys like it, but all in all, he still thinks it's stupid. And that's not my words. He wrote an article saying, the nap is stupid and here's 6 reasons why. You're all dumb. Now, there's a difference between having an ideological difference with somebody and debating them intellectually. It is Austin's style to write an article like that. You're dumb and this is 6 reasons why. And that has been how he has acted this entire time. So here's the first question I have to you, Justin of Liberty Hangout. Why do you think so many people hate him? Why do you have to go on Twitter all the time? Because I didn't even tag you in this photo. You were looking, apparently, or somebody tagged you in it or let you know it was going on. Why do you feel like you have to be on Twitter constantly defending him against other bona fide libertarians? Dozens of people coming up and saying, yeah, I agree, I don't like him. He blocked me, he called me stupid, blah, 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 blah. What do you say to that? Why do you think that there's so many people that don't like him? Please try to explain this to me. It's because they've had bad interactions with him. And not only that, personally, that I have a problem with him, it's the people that he puts around him on his campaign staff. People that are straight up con men, confirmed con men. And if Austin hears this, or his campaign person hears this, they know what I'm talking about. And you don't want to go there with me. Because you know what I know. And you know I know what other people know. So please, call me on this. And to combat this whole thing, like, well, maybe Austin didn't know about this guy. I know from inside sources that Austin knows that this person's a fraud and a con man, and he doesn't care. How are you going to run a campaign with a guy who has taken money from at least a dozen people that I know of, promising to pay them back, or this, that, and the other, I need this, I need that, and never get back to them, or broken promises with any type of job, putting together liberty conferences and trying to jack people out of thousands of dollars of money? You don't know who you're dealing with here, Justin. And that leads me to my next question. What are you getting out of this? Are you getting paid currently? Were you promised to get paid at a later date? Were you promised a position or some type of support? Because if I tell you right now, Justin, if you haven't got paid yet, you might want to go ahead and inquire about that before you continue this little propaganda campaign. Because I guarantee you, if you haven't got paid now, you ain't getting paid. I know that from personal experience, bro. No one in their right mind would go on to Twitter as hard as you have, and maybe other outlets, and defend somebody so vigorously when there's dozens and dozens and dozens of people, prominent libertarian figures in the liberty movement, that know this guy's an asshole. But not all of them know about the people that he got around him. I know the inside baseball of some of this stuff. You're setting yourself up to be conned. So that's all I gotta say. If you haven't got paid yet or gotten your favor yet, you better look at getting that, because I don't think it's coming. Anyways, that's enough on that. And like I said, I'll put the link to that whole thread, that whole argument, on the description, or you could just go to my Twitter @SlavLibertarian and check it out for yourself. Hey, maybe you disagree with me, the viewers, listeners. Read the thread. Let me know what you thought, or just jump in the conversation on Twitter yourself. It's still going right now. So get in there, and if you think I'm being a dick, tell me. I don't care. Now on to, if you thought I wasn't mad before, now on to what's really gonna make me mad. Last week, I talked about how the Senate unanimously passed that 9/11 bill that would allow the families to sue Saudi Arabia. And if you go back and listen to that episode, I was kind of flabbergasted that they passed it unanimously. If I remember correctly, I was kind of like, wow, you know. And then Chuck Schumer said something along the lines of, you know, they deserve this, and we need to hold Saudi Arabia accountable. And I was like, wow, I actually agree with Chuck Schumer on something. This is incredible. Well, as of today, Chuck Schumer upends 9/11 Saudi suit bill at the 11th hour. This guy has got to be one of the most wicked creatures to ever walk this planet. I talk about people have a look, and I have an article that I'm going to cover talking about face scanning. A company wants to be able to tell just by scanning a face what this personality is like. There may be some truth to that, and they apparently have some science to back that up. We'll cover that. But this guy looks like a mobster, a gangster. I'm watching The Sopranos right now on HBO. I have never seen the series. I'm watching it from the beginning. This guy looks like, hey, yo, whoa. Maybe something will happen to your kneecaps if you don't pay me. Then maybe they just explode, eh? The guy's a gangster. Last week, getting back to the article, last week's passage unanimously of the Senate bill making it easier for 9/11 families to sue Saudi Arabia and other foreign terror sponsors was widely heralded as a major victory. It's no more than a cruel hoax, New York Post writes. It turns out that just before the vote, Senator Charles Schumer and other proponents of the Justice Against Sponsors of Terrorism Act stuffed an amendment into the final draft allowing Attorney General and Secretaries of State to stop litigation against the Saudis in its tracks. Schumer helped craft the entire section of the original bill, giving the Justice Department and the State Department the power to stay court actions indefinitely. The quiet behind-the-scenes watering down of this controversial bill explains why it passed without a single Republican or Democratic objection. The section that was slipped in last minute stays actions pending state negotiations, leaves it up to the Secretary of State to merely, quote-unquote, certify that the United States is, quote, engaged in good faith conversations with foreign states, defendants, concerning the resolution of claims against the terror state, end quote. The Attorney General, in turn, can petition the court for for an extension of stay for an additional 180-day period, effectively delaying lawsuits against the Saudi Arabian government indefinitely. Incredible. Incredible treason. Incredible double cross. Absolutely fucking sick criminals. I hate this goddamn government. I hate the people that run it. Oh my God. Who are these people? Why do they exist? And it gets worse, folks. Give me a second. Lawyers for the 9/11 families say that they were assured by Schumer. Oh yes, we trust us again. And co-sponsor John Cornyn that the administration would have to come forward with some real and tangible proof to secure a stay. Oh, trust us. Still, the 9/11 families say they've been betrayed. Yeah. But don't expect the House to remove the stay provision. Well, yeah. Before this little 11th hour sneak attack, Speaker Paul Ryan, who recently returned from Saudi Arabia, where he met King Salman, whatever the fuck his name is, has sided with the president against the bill. He is not expected to let the bill come to the floor for a vote. Let me read that again. Paul Ryan, the Speaker of the House, went to Saudi Arabia and met with their king and now says he opposes the bill. The bill that would allow victims of 9/11 to sue Saudi Arabia. So our Speaker of the House can fly to Saudi Arabia, kiss the feet of the king, and come back and say, nah, we ain't doing that. Pure criminality. They should all be hung by their toes. Now, I'm going to make a prediction here. I predict that now that this little sneak attack has been snuck into this bill by the fucking mob boss Chucky Schumer, that he may just allow it to come to the floor and be voted on, and it pass, I don't know, maybe by a large majority, just like it was in the Senate, because as far as Paul Ryan's concerned, hey, no big deal, give them what they think they want. Hey, we passed a bill, it's the State Department now that's not letting your little thingy go by. It's not us. We passed a bill with that little provision in there that allows them to do that. Fucking criminals, man. Like, if at this point you don't see, if you don't see how criminal this is, how illegitimate, that's the word. Illegitimate. Irrelevant. This government is, how much it doesn't give a fuck about you or anybody else. If just this article alone, if you didn't know anything else, that alone should tell you. Okay, I'm going to try to calm down. On to some more news concerning libertarianism and the election and all of that sort. Aaron Ross, he is a Cato Institute research fellow and also the editor of libertarianism.org. Great website, by the way. Check it out. He got published in the Washington Post with the title, Libertarianism is not Republicanism. Trump haters should find another place to hide. Ding, ding, ding. Don't delude the Libertarian Party just to beat Donald Trump. Double ding. If all of these converts see a safe house where they can run and hide out the storm, they're missing the point. The Libertarian ideal and the Libertarian Party stand as reminders that neither of the two major parties are committed to the principles of individualism, and individuals and the state is superior to them. And in this election year, If fear of President Trump results in libertarianism morphing into republicanism light, it would cease to serve the purpose. While I'm not an active member in the Libertarian Party, as I am a small L libertarian, I want no part in diluting this core principle just to boost the electoral success. Yes, spot on. And that was another thing that was brought up in that whole debate about the picture, which again was supposed to be a joke, by the way. Is that, well, Austin Peterson's bringing in, all of these never Trumpers. Is it that great? To which I retorted, yeah, the guys that wanted to draft Romney and Ryan, the guy that just got back from Saudi Arabia and wants to kill this bill that allowed 9/11 victims to get their fucking money. I said I was going to calm down. Libertarianism, though, isn't a subsidiary of republicanism. That's the risk for libertarians if Republicans turned off by Trump, migrate towards the Libertarian Party, and change our ideological center of gravity. My concern isn't ex-Republicans voting for Libertarian candidates. I'd welcome that. I'd also welcome votes from Bernie Sanders supporters who can't stomach Hillary's hawkish foreign policy and uncomfortable close ties to Wall Street. My concern, rather, is about the future of an idea. Absolutely. That's why this guy writes for libertarianism.org. The danger, then, of trying to accommodate never-Trumpers would be watered down libertarian values in favor of we're not like the other guys, tribalism, and ever more government. Yes, and I linked that last night during that debate, and I don't think I could have said it better myself. On to Venezuela news, and then we got some more foreign policy on Vietnam, Silicon Valley, face scanning, and some technology news. The agony of Venezuela continues. Basically, this article says that Venezuela is pretty much on near collapse. Numerous governments, including the Obama administration last week, called for political negotiations in Venezuela to head off the incipient and potentially catastrophic breakdown of politics and economic order. And it basically goes on to say everything that I've said the past few weeks. They are on the world's largest oil reserves, and now they have one of the highest crime rates, highest murder rates. I saw on Facebook or Twitter that a hamburger is $117. Yeah, it's not looking good there, but Maduro has money to order the soldiers on high alert exercises because of an imminent U.S. invasion, apparently. And that seems like a parable or a pattern with dictators or people that are trying to prop up a failed state or anything for that matter. Distract. Oh, Americans are right outside the door. Well, if you had any wealth in your country left, maybe. But you do have oil, so I don't know. Maybe we are trying to invade. Who knows? U.S. to lift arms ban on old foe Vietnam as regional tensions simmer. The United States announced an end to an embargo on sales of lethal arms to Vietnam on Monday, a historic step that draws the line under the two countries' old imminent and underscores their shared concerns about Beijing. The decision to lift the arms ban, which followed intense debate within the Obama administration, suggests such concerns outweigh arguments that Vietnam had not done enough to improve human rights records, and Washington could lose leverage for reforms. The decision to lift the ban was not based on China or any other considerations. It was based on the desire to complete what had been a lengthy process moving towards normalization with Vietnam, Obama claims. Yeah, I'm too sure. As soon as things heat up in the South China Sea, it had nothing to do with it. It's all a coincidence. Just like Paul Ryan coming back from Saudi Arabia and sucking the king's cock, and now he doesn't want to put that bill up. But he may now because it's worthless. What's driving Silicon Valley to be radicalized? Like many Silicon Valley startups, Larry Gadina's company collects heaps of sensitive data about his customers. Recently, he's decided to do something with that data trove that he's long considered unthinkable. He's getting rid of it. The reason? Gadea fears that one day the FBI might turn to him and do what it did to Apple in their recent legal battle, demand that he give the agency access to his encrypted data. Rather than make what he considers to be a fustian bargain, he's building a system that he hopes will avoid the situation entirely. In Silicon Valley, there's an emphasis on putting up barriers to government requests for data. The trend is a striking reversal from the long-standing faith in a data-hungry tech industry. But now, some large tech firms are increasingly offering services to customers that rely less on collecting data. Yeah, because people don't trust the government anymore. Why would you? When politicians are jetting off to our enemies' caves and coming back with their fucking agenda. The sea of change is becoming evident among an early stage companies to see the holdings of so much data as no more than a liability than an asset, giving the risk of cyber criminals and government investigators might come knocking. Engineers are not so inherently anti-government, but they're becoming radicalized because they believe that the FBI in particular, and the US government more broadly, wants to outlaw encryption, prominent venture capitalist Mark Andreessen said. Startups are particularly wary, Andreessen said, of legislation proposed recently by Senator Richard Burr and Dianne Feinstein. That witch, Dianne Feinstein, the one that wants to take all your guns, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn them all in. If I had all the votes in the Senate, I would have taken everything. That one. But then she got spied on by the CIA because of all that torture report stuff. How's it feel, you little witch? That would compel tech companies to build technical methods that shares customers' encrypted data at court requests. Good. Good on you, Silicon Valley. See, I think that Silicon Valley, for the most part, that's like true liberals out there. They have your high taxes or whatever and clean cars, but they're electric and have batteries with lithium, then you have to throw them away into a landfill. But anyways, at least they still have like some kind of liberal preferences and ideals. I would assume that they're also still anti-war out there. They're against government invading the First Amendment. On to some tech news. Terrorist or pedophile. This startup says it can out secrets by analyzing faces. An Israeli startup says it can take one look at a person's face and realize character traits that are undetectable to the human eye. See, I don't think that's true. As I've been saying and others have been saying, people have a look. Pedos have a look. Gangsters have a look. You look at a guy or girl, you're like, ugh. Yeah, there's something wrong with them normally. The company says its technology can also be used to identify everything from a great poker player to extroverts, pedophiles, geniuses, and white-collar criminals. Faceception recently showed off its technology at a poker tournament organized by the startup that shares investors with Faceception. Gialoba said that Faceception predicted before the tournament that 4 out of the 50 amateur players would be the best. When the dust was settled, 2 of these 4 players were among the top 3 finalists. Pretty interesting stuff. But I think that goes back, like I said, I don't think these traits are completely undetectable by humans. These people have a look. You know what I mean? Like that guy, like I discussed last week. I'm a pedo, not a monster. He looks like a creep. And he jerks off to 5-year-olds that he babysits. Fucking sicko. I'm wired up tonight, guys. Sorry about that. I was at work all day just seething over that Chuck Schumer thing. This is therapeutic, though. Okay. Last bit of information here. The future F-35 fighter could control 1 to 10 or 10 to 100 drones. And I saw this today and I didn't print it out. I forgot that I was going to cover this. The F-35 is getting more delays, by the way. Air Force chief scientist said that F-35 jet pilots could someday control a swarm of drones flying alongside fighter jets to boost sensors, reconnaissance, and targeting functions. Zacharias explained that the potential future scenario wherein one human is able to control 10 to even 100 drones with one plane. That is the future, folks, of unmanned technology. I predict that stuff like this will continue to come out. They don't want just one crew piloting one drone. They want one crew piloting one drone that then is piloting, like the article said, maybe 10 up to 100 autonomously connected drones that are getting commands from the mothership, basically. That is on the horizon, mark my words. And that is all I have for today. Thank you for joining me. I went on a couple of rants there, but you know what? Fuck it. Follow me on Twitter, @SlavLibertarian, @SlavLibertarian. I put all of the articles that I cover in the description below, and I will also link to that Twitter argument I had with Mr. Justin of Liberty Hangout. And Justin, no hard feelings. I know you really believe that that Austin is the best guy. I can't get on board with you, brother. But anyways, thank you guys for listening, and have a nice day.